action-packed episode.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we were closer to the end of the episode than the beginning. This is the halfway point.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Gundam 00. We come back as we normally do with notes, comments, and a board. So let's go ahead and look at that board real quick, where I have a board changelog, where I have connected Hong Long to Rishmati with a green line. I added KT Mennekin and connected her to Patrick with a green line. And I connected Louise to Setsuna with a white line.
And Miss Haley to Saji, I guess, with a white line. Oh, we did that before, right? No,
That
not
was a long time ago.
You did. Sorry, I apologize for saying we. It's had nothing to do with it.
I'm saying that was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, okay, let's start with the notes. Episode 13, Return of the Saint. Government Control Broadcasting is an interesting channel, to be sure. That's the channel that the princess is.
Actually, I think it was A14. But it also had a note that said government controlled. I think it's just government controlled as a notice. You know, like, this is a sponsored video. It just said, no, because it said right there, like the text scroll was here, and like right above the text scroll, it says government sponsored.
And then it had, and the logo said government control broadcasting. So I guess, that's the title of the channel.
I mean, at least they let you know.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I guess this region responds to one particular type of messaging only. Going back to the past, Ali al-Sachaz is giving his Holy Land speech about the chosen of God when addressing his child soldiers defending Kyrgyz from the Azadistan soldiers. Now, addressing her country on the TV, Marina's first given reason for her people not to hurt each other is that this is the promised land given by God. Can only imagine the invading soldiers in Kyrgyz were hearing a similar thing not too long ago as well.
Yeah, only been about 6 years, yeah.
It's just the element that, it's the only reason we have. It's like, this is the promised land.
One of the things I've been wondering
is
like, you have conservatives and all that, but the thing is, and reformers, but the thing is, I would argue that the reason many conservatives would be concerned is that, at least on paper, their wealth is also tied to the oil exports.
Not anymore.
So that's, well, no, truer, but if you move away from them, then they would lose money.
Well, that's backwards. That's backwards thinking only because everyone has moved on. The rest of the world has already decided not to. Your decision not to embrace, it's when you say, no, I'm not going to buy that thing because I like the thing that I have, and the thing that you have has been discontinued and you can't even get on a network anymore. And it's like, well, you're only hurting yourself now. It's legitimately anyone who has an old person in their life that just refuses to move on.
I sent Setsuna to investigate because in this country, the rest of us stand out too much. Setsuna proceeds to stand out too much.
Oh, you're talking about the conversation in the transport?
Yeah, and then,
Wow, that is so far down in my notes. Like, I'm still going to be talking about this opening scene a bit. Like, my notes are nonsense, by the way. But it's off my screen. That's how far down my notes it is. I should indicate that a lot of times we'll stop doing our recording, right? And I'll go on to, like, edit videos and whatnot. And then I'll put off writing my notes until, like, legitimately the morning of. So I will be, like, playing the video, my notepad's up, and I'll be typing, and my eyes will be still so blurry from waking up that I can't even see what I'm typing yet. So that's the mind space that my notes tend to come from. The waking mind that doesn't understand the world yet. So when I say my notes are nonsense, I mean, I have no idea what the fuck I was thinking. I feel like the unspoken distinction between the reformists and the conservatives is that when we see the reformists, they tend to be in shelter, like the couple watching TV at home, when a Marina poster on their wall. The well-to-do neighborhoods that are getting bombed by the conservatives are reformist ones, while the conservatives always seem to be in the street, kind of painting a picture of a different social strata with different beliefs. Reformists being a better-off middle class, while the conservatives seem to be a worse-off, poorer, lower class.
It kind of makes sense if the reformers are extending their connections to beyond the country, and they're getting wealth from the outside, loans, whatever.
Well, no, because we're not talking about, like, businessmen and everything like that. We're talking about, well, I don't know, I can't speak for all of them, but, like, our point of view was just, like, a couple in the house, right? It just seems like the people that are embracing change are taking advantage of it. I'm not talking like on an international level. I just mean in country.
Yeah. But where the wealth has to come from somewhere, and either it's inherited wealth, little well-to-do, remnants of
Well,
what
no, I
was there
mean it could
before,
just be
or
people who stand against the government. Because again, if the conservatives are against this new regime, reformist regime, because they even say the princess is the de facto representative of the reformist government, that
yeah,
if they're against that, then they're probably not taking the government handouts. It doesn't have to do with like long-standing wealth. In fact, it shouldn't be, because the reformist thing is a new thing. So it's not going to be generational wealth being handed down to your people. It's going to be the
no,
people that
I mean, it
embrace the
could be.
new society that the government is
Well, you
then
could
giving
have people have
subsidies.
you have people who are generational wealth who's like, oh, this old stuff is not working for us. If we want to maintain and grow our wealth, we have to change.
But that
They have
doesn't
a motive
stand
to
though.
change.
That doesn't stand because it'd be the conservatives would be those people. The conservatives would be the ones trying to hold on to the oil and everything like that. Those would be the generational wealth people. But that doesn't
Not
seem to be the case.
necessarily.
I think what we're looking at here is probably more like a welfare state, that the government is taking steps to reform to become that new solar energy government, and they're giving subsidies to the people to try, from the generational wealth is probably in that. The extreme wealth that we had has been given to the state by those people that would have switched over to try and embrace the new. But then you would have again, and my point, we're going way off track. And my point was just basically the visual metaphor of all the conservatives that we see are on the streets, bandaged up, complaining about the government, whereas the reformists are living in nice houses and, the bombed area when they go flying over, and then they have posters of Marina in their places.
Uh, Graham clocked Setsuna as at the very least linked with celestial being, and that's why he linked the information to him. The question I had during the show when watching was whether or not he clocked him as a Gundam pilot, but that is still a question.
I don't know. You gotta remember this is based off Gundam Wing, where they could just look at a person and to tell that they were going to be a pilot, or the way that guy's moving is a lot like that mobile suit that I fought earlier.
Mm.
So it's hard to tell how far the influence goes and how far of its own thing it is.
But the way Graham handles this is pretty smart. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to say this out loud, and their reaction is like, well, you're
I
saying that
mean,
out
I've
loud.
got a whole note about this
Nothing.
coming up, and I don't think it even mattered. I think he already
Yeah,
said the valuable part out loud before, and
yeah,
then he
but
just repeated it.
he doesn't know what Setsuna heard. So
Yeah, well, like I said, it doesn't matter. But again, I'll get there when I get there because you're ahead of me. Shirin indicates that the only way out of the country's current situation is to bring Rashmati under the protection. But at best, that only seems like a way to curb the growing civil war and not to actually fix anything. Or everything, rather. The receiver that was being built has already been destroyed, and the UN engineers are gone. It seems unlikely that particular lifeline would come back, even if the civil war were ended today. Grant, I'm writing this from the past, not by the end of the other episode. The UN should need assurances that the country was even more stable than it was before, lest they send people in and just end up putting them all at risk all over again. No, the only way out really only seems to apply to avoiding intervention from celestial being. I guess Alejandro's hidden motivations push past common sense, though, since they go right back to construction the moment peace is even hinted at.
I mean, I think
He
he's
never
running
even
his
left
own
the country.
experiment. Yeah, he's running his own experiment to see what happens. I think he's using Asadistan as a, oh, you guys want to see how your actual effect on this? Let's see if it actually works in this very messy situation.
Well, I mean,
That's why
he
he's
had the
doing it.
conversation with Marina already. Why are we going to do this? Because I
Yeah,
think this region can become peaceful. It just needs a base for which that to happen. And I think this could be the first place. It's just the element that, the place is under attack. The construction site has been bombarded. We've brought our people out. The idea was that we wouldn't even bring our people in if the threat of attack was imminent. And
yeah.
told us your military would protect us. And it didn't happen. And I would think that you would need more assurance than even before to bring your people back.
Yeah.
But again, the moment they even sit down at the table to have a conversation, bring them back. They're at the airport, shuttle them back in.
Those robbers were just assholes, basically.
I mean, they're worse than assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally
Being
shot
mom.
a mother holding her child.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I always write my notes in the morning when I'm the thickest, but if it wasn't for the narrator recapping everything for us, I wouldn't have known that it was the military launching a coup d'etat. I thought it was an uprising from the conservatives on a civilian-scale civil war, not the military itself that was seeking to unseat Marina. I guess that explains why the military being sent out to protect these people in places failed to do so. It was against her the entire time. Also why they didn't listen to her order not to attack the Gundam later.
I mean, the impression I got was that the coup started within the military, but they didn't control the entirety of the military.
It just says it's a military coup d'etat, so it's no real... I mean, it's to the point that, again, the narrator didn't say it. I wouldn't have thought it was the military at all. I thought it was just the people. I thought it was a grassroots uprising.
I remember there was a shootout at the antenna. Like they were shooting at each other. Like, oh, what's going on? They shot the guy.
Yeah, but that was also combined with Ali Sanchez starting everything. So who's to say it wasn't his mercenary group doing that stuff?
And then there was another shootout on the streets where one of them confronts like three of them, and
again, that just seemed to me to be grassroots conservatives.
That gunman was a maid of some kind. She was carrying something in her hand before she pulled that gun. Still,
I think it was a towel.
Yeah, piss poor security if you can sneak a firearm into the palace in the middle of a coup.
Because I think at first I thought it was like a teacup or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was like
a little saucer with a tea on it. But I think what it was is she was holding a gun in her hand and she like had a towel or something folded over her hands, like coming into clean or whatever. Because instantly it's gone and there was no like sound of a thing crashing to the floor or whatnot. So
they don't even show it later on, because I look for it because it was kind of blurry when she comes in because it's out of focus, and then she pulls the gun
going over the top of her hand. So that's
she pulls a gun, and then when she's dead and they pan out, I don't see a towel or a tray. We don't hear anything fall to the ground. It's like, well, that was a disappearing trick right there, but she was holding something.
It's funny that their evidence for a third-party presence is just the missile strike that took out the receivers was likely done by mobile suits, as we just covered that this coup is military-run, and we know that the country has mobile suits. In fact, we know that Marina sent the military to protect the construction site, which should mean that there were mobile suits in the area. While a third party is reasonable, and there would be no reason to not possibly suspect one of having done it, I think the more reasonable solution would have been to have suspected the clearly conservative military of having attacked the object that they hated so much as they started their attempt to take over the country.
I mean, yes, but it didn't clarify. But my explanation to that was that their mobile suits, which are older versions, are armed with that particular weapon.
I mean, it doesn't.
Which means it wouldn't.
I don't think that matters because it could just be a mobile suit wielding an object. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not arguing against what actually happened. We know what happened. I'm just arguing what seems logical in the moment. Would I, in that moment, have jumped to, a third party did this? Or would I think the military, with mobile suits and their own hardware in the area, that then went into fight against the government, may have done this themselves? If there's a guy in the crowd shouting, "Kill the president," and then somebody opens fire at the president, my first thought's going to be, that guy was shouting, "Kill the president."
My next note. Enter Hong Long, the Purple Hornet.
I mean, sounds like the name of your porno.
Or his, I suppose.
Enter Hong Long. Probably what,
Well, if I'm really going for an action flick, it would be Enter Hong Long, the Purple Dragon or something.
Yeah, it's been forever since we watched it. I can't remember the guy's name anymore.
Enter the Purple Dragon, Hong Long.
It's probably the name of the porno Camille gave to the bridge crew.
Ah, yes.
Because we also like to change the names of actual famous landmarks in Gundam all the time. Hong Long, Hong Kong.
But it was Hong Kong. It was New Hong Kong.
Yeah. Well, the joke doesn't play the more you examine it.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's where I start actually catching up with you. So I sent Sensuna to investigate because the rest of us would stand out too much in this country. I guess that's the best way to say an Irishman and a Chinese woman have no chance of blending into the Middle East.
And why Hong Long was wearing a mask, too.
Yes, because that really helped the purple outfit that he was wearing not be seen against the sand.
And night, because it was dark.
Well, not when he left. It was daytime when they left.
Yeah, but he was inside the Gundam, so nobody would see him there.
Yes, that's the best place to hide a person, inside of the 18-story building.
I mean, you see the
18
Gundam, you
meters
don't
is
see
what I meant
them.
to say.
You don't see them, you see the Gundam. So it's like, oh, it's a Gundam. You don't see the pilot.
Sure, the best place to hide one assassin is behind the other assassin.
Yeah.
The best place to hide a ninja is behind the other ninja, because you're never going to see any of them.
Yeah. Louis' mom graduated to leaning on Saji. How faithful is she to her husband exactly? And Louis is not happy about it.
Well, she says he looks like her husband, so.
Yeah. She's like, huh, and she's like, get away from him.
What did the PMC Trust say about it? That it went missing during the Moralia conflict. My guess is that they're talking about Ali's Enact custom that he was given to try and fight the Gundams with, probably declared it missing during the fight so he could keep it for himself, and a missing mobile suit makes for a good scapegoat to pin crimes on down the road, such as this one. Graham essentially indicates that's the conversation that they were having before when slipping the information to Setsuna at the end of their encounter. Of course, if that was what they were talking about before, then Setsuna would have been around to hear them say it before Graham repeated it again. So, for Billy, he and Graham just had a conversation about the missing Enact, and then Graham suddenly repeated it again as they were leaving for no reason.
True. But again, like I said earlier, Graham wants to make sure that Setsuna hears about it, so that information ends up.
I'm not talking about Graham's motivations. I said for Billy.
Oh yeah, no, Billy actually says, "That's like, what are you doing?" It's like, oh, nothing.
Also, I guess as a lesser note, I didn't make a comment about this, but it happens in the same scene. The element that the tech difference between Celestial Being and, say, the Union is that Setsuna has this little device. He's like, oh, okay, there's some things around here. Whereas Billy is wandering around with a pad and this giant hand thing.
Yeah, he has it all. It's a different tricorders, basically.
Well, yeah, he's like a giant rave stick that he's hanging all over everything. And
Billy has a TOS tricorder with the thing separate, and Well,
you think back to old Star Wars, older Star Wars, where the Jedi had these giant battery backpacks and this wired attached lightsaber, and Setsuna's over here with a modern lightsaber. Even his pad, without everything else, is smaller than Billy's pad. It's like, I couldn't help but notice that. I didn't make a note about it, but it's just bringing that up now.
He's basically using his PDA/cell phone to do the analysis. It's all in there, yeah. PDAs. They didn't last as long as people expected them to.
Well, a lot of people don't like to see PDAs. It's different meanings.
Yes. Okay, the guys that fired their rifles got arrested, but why were they even allowed in the square with weapons in the first place? Also, Marina, do not attack the Gundam. Military attacks the Gundam, followed by, well, that didn't work. I guess we should let him pass.
I mean, there's probably nobody there to stop them.
Yeah. I mean, there was but the people who arrested the guys with rifles to start shooting at the Gundam.
It's probably the difference between the military guys who were doing the coup and just random people on the street with guns. It's like, yeah, we want to take out the government, but we don't want a bunch of randos shooting wildly all over the place. We're still the authority. At the end of the day, when the military takes over, say they won, right? They're still going to want to take these people off the streets.
Yeah, but I think these people, the military was protecting the princess. They didn't capture the palace.
I think they might have. Those might have been in front of the palace because they had captured the palace.
It didn't seem like. In fact, they even said that.
You say it doesn't seem like that. They might have had her locked up in that room, which is why they never left the room.
No, because she went to the bunker first, and she got out of the bunker, and then she was like,
she was always in that one room. We never seen her out of that room.
She goes out.
You can stop right now. I'm saying what I'm saying. You're not going to dissuade me from this. Literally, I just watched the episode of the Wilder Show too.
It was
always the one. We literally had this conversation, I think, yesterday. Because remember, for those of you in the audience, we recorded yesterday. We're recording today, back to back. I think we legit had this conversation yesterday where I said they barely ever leave the one room, and then you're like, "No, we've seen her," and I was like, "No." So, legitimately, go back 2 episodes. You in the audience, we don't need to have this conversation again.
Okay, then.
Lessons here. I'm gonna ask you one question, and this will probably solve the entire thing for us. Did you bring pictures?
No.
Then it's not a conversation worth having.
No,
I
that
know
was a
you
point of
can't
contention.
anticipate arguments you don't anticipate having. So,
I mean, that's why I didn't bring pictures.
so say, yeah, there's no evidence to have. Was that a note from you, or was that just a conversation we were having?
No, that was a note from me. Yes.
Ali Al-Sechez is a bit more complicated of a figure than I remembered him being. In my mind, he was just a merc agent for chaos with a particularly evil backstory. I guess I combined his merc present with the Setsuna backstory and just assumed that he was back then too. It seems like he's from Kyrgyz and wasn't just a merc fighting in the region back then. That he was an extremist leader fighting the invading Azerbaijan military to protect their country, using the whole chosen land and picked by God thing that Marina herself is telling people in a recorded anti-Civil War message today. Ali could well be Gundam 00's Zex Marquise, but in a horrible way. Former leader of a destroyed country, fighting for other powers, hands stained with blood, but where Zex, at least initially, is fighting to liberate other countries from the control of the Earthsphere Alliance, Ali is just fighting for the love of the game and personal aggrandizement. I know that for you, that might not make him all that complicated, but I only remembered him being extremely surface level, so this adds a couple of layers to him that didn't exist for me before. Of course, he's also all over the place. Leader of the Kyrgyz rebels, leader of the Moralia PMC unit, Gary of the Foreign Legion, fingers and many pies.
We'll get to that in a moment. Yeah. Since no one knew who took Rasa, somebody could spin this into blaming Celestial Being for taking him in the first place so they would have an excuse to intervene in the conflict. Yes, Rasa did say it was an unknown merc group that held him captive, but still, there's room to spin this story, you know.
I mean, I think
know
you'd
that
have
Sesame
to have
doesn't care.
spun it before his interviews get out there.
Yeah.
Because once he starts talking, it's too late at that point.
Oh, it depends on which audience you're also talking about. In country, not so much. But out of country, right? Other people, oh, yeah, we're seeing it through like the equivalent of CNN.
I don't know
like,
that it matters out of country, though. From the element that the only people out of the country that matter in this position is the UN, and Alejandro's going to do what Alejandro wants to do.
And the Union. And I suspect the third party that is it.
No, because the Union only cares for the element that the Celestial Beings are intervening. That whole thing happens, and Graham's like, no, we can't do it. We'll look like the world's biggest villains if we do this. Union don't give a shit anymore. The Union only cares when it's a chance to capture a Gundam. Or test their machines against the Gundams to see whether they can fight or not, I guess. There's a need to show the world Celestial Beings' true wishes. Again, from the we don't rescue people, the preemptively attack people defending their territory from invaders people, suddenly putting themselves at risk to rescue a guy, and peacefully ending a civil war without preemptively attacking the defenders. This is suddenly Celestial Being's true wish. It's the opposite of actions we've already seen Celestial Being take in the past. I guess, with the space station segment rescue, at least the rest of the world didn't know that they locked up one of their own guys for doing it, and that they were so against rescuing people that it led to guns being pointed at one another down the road in an argument. So, from that angle, sure, looks like this is what they are about to the world sometimes. But it's a lie to say it and make believe that this is Celestial Being's true wish from the inside.
They said we have the stated goal of stopping warfare, and some people have said, oh, there's more to it. I don't know the real reason for Celestial Being.
No, I'm just indicating everything that they've done so far from our point of view. We know that they're not about rescuing people. But when one guy did, they all went in a tizzy, and Tierra almost shot a person. They literally locked that person up for a week. Because that's not what we're about. You put everything in danger. So now to display to the world that this is what we're about, the element is that the world doesn't know that they were so against that guy trying to rescue 200-something people. To the world, it looks like he just went out and rescued them. So, good PR, bad internal, whatever. So...
Internal politics are...
I was going to say strife, but anyway. The point being is that to indicate to yourself, now these are Celestial Beings' true wishes. You attacked people who were also like kind of being into a civil war, and that they were part of the Union and they wanted out, and they were only defending themselves. Like literally, they didn't attack anybody. They were about to defend themselves from an attack, and you attacked them. So this is already anti everything you've done so far, and yet this is the truest thing that you've done. Bullshit.
Yeah, everyone. This is the kind of weird thing that well, you've already noticed that, and I said this before. Like everybody's logical, and celestial being is the philosophical, group, right? When Wing, everybody was being philosophical in a sort of vague thing, right? Oh, I want to fight against this. I want to do this. I want to, and it was like, huh? Here is like, oh, these are political interests. This is what we want. We need this for this reason. Like, oh, that makes sense. I may or may not agree with what they're doing, right? But I understand it. And so that's it being still speaks in this sort of very vague, we're going to end war, and this is our true being, and we're going to show ourselves. Like, huh?
Yeah, I don't so much care that they are illogical or that they feel more often than not. It's the element that it doesn't. Things that are happening don't align with the things that they're saying. They're lying to themselves and agreeing with the lie.
Question is, are we as the audience supposed to believe the lie now, or?
I can tell you what the comment section is probably going to tell us what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Based on past experience.
And the final question for this episode is from me. And who paid Al Sachez men to kidnap Roxanne in the first place? The AU? Someone else? Because ultimately, who really benefits from, the Union?
So a classic detective story question. Who stands to benefit?
Because one could argue the Union because they
it would be
ready
the
to react.
I mean, that would be the answer.
Yeah.
Legitimately, who's there?
The Union.
The United Nations, who doesn't seem to respond to anybody, but they were there already, so we can write them off. And the Union, who's literally there to get into a fight with Celestial Being. Celestial Being didn't start there, so how did they know to be there?
Yeah.
So yeah, Union is the only outside party that makes sense. And go figure. What countries on Earth would fund a Middle East destabilization? Who could that be? Russia was also a viable answer.
Well, that would be HRL, yeah.
Would it be? Or would it be a previous argument of, would that not be the Advanced European Union?
We solved that out. Russia.
Yeah, we did solve that. And you actually agreed with me that it would be the AEU.
No.
Yes.
HRL.
Go back 4 episodes from this one.
It's in your own map. I gotta go.
It is in my own map, and you even addressed it and apologized for being wrong in your notes section. I don't know. You need to search that up.
No, I was wrong to say that the map cuts off at the Urals. It actually includes all of Russia.
Yes, and does not include all of Russia. Okay, let me just go back to the map real quick in case I'm just like super wrong. Huh. No, because my problem is this doesn't defeat my argument. It's just weird that they put Russia there. I will put this out though. Remember that this is not the official map. This is the map maker forum that did this. And I do not recall a giant text of Russia being on anything that we've seen on screen.
I think it was when they were.
Because remember, I told you about me taking screenshots of the most recent one, and then saying that those screenshots weren't as good as episode 2's, and if I should go back and forth. But I don't think the most recent one they showed up. Hold on. I guess a quick pause here because I did not delete them. So if I can remember how far to scroll down. Oh, wait, I'm right there. HRL? Okay, yeah, you're right. That does say Russia. All right, well, I don't have much to say about that then. For me, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because they put in the name Russia over the Siberian, Central Asian.
Yeah, I told you lessons. I was just looking at it. For me, that doesn't make any sense.
It does. This is the Kola Peninsula. Yeah, this is the Kola Peninsula. This will be the border with Poland, and this will be in the middle. Will be the border with Ukraine. So yeah, it actually makes.
Fortunately, lessons. I don't see your mouse on the map on this.
No.
So if you're doing that there, you gotta click into the window.
Actually, it kind of looks like parts of Finland. I'm not really sure. I gotta double check my own map, but I think that's a Kola Peninsula. Yeah, St. Petersburg, Finland. Yeah. Actually, no, that's not true at all. That is, in fact, not true at all because Finland is all the way over here.
Yeah, I was just
So
bringing up a real
yeah,
world map just to double check something because
this map. Yeah, no. This map is
yeah. So no, well, see, okay. What I'm thinking here is that you can see where the Black Sea is, right?
yeah.
North of that, and just a little bit to the right is where
No, you're right.
Moscow. Yeah, I think you can see Moscow on there. Oh, very blurry on the one that's on the board. You're not even on the board. Anyway, on the board, Moscow, just north of the Black Sea, it's on the map. And my argument previously was that's the more industrial side of Russia,
Yeah,
the side that you
west
would
of the
consider,
Urals. Yeah,
the side you would consider to be Russia if you were to divide Russia in half.
yeah.
And that's my argument, that you should put the Russia tag on the other side. And that's why I think all the political might of Russia would be in the advanced European Union, which was my previous argument. Now, I think you're leaning on the map says Russia. So,
I mean, yeah,
it's hard to argue
yeah.
with the map. And again, as I just put into our own chat, the screenshot that I took, that has
Yeah.
Russia on there. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, no, because they cut off most of European Russia out of this particular map. So yeah, no, I was wrong.
And again,
I
maybe
think
that's just Western thinking. That's the most important part of Russia. Like, I don't know. Obviously, I don't live over
it's the
there.
most popular. You have St. Petersburg, you have Moscow, you have most of the major cities, industrial areas. So the classic political centers of Russia. So yeah.
But again, that was my entire argument essentially before. Was
No,
that the part of Russia?
I remember. Yeah, and
yeah. Well, you know me.
Yeah.
I get into a thought process. I need to repeat it out. So
No.
the idea that they put on the map Russia, maybe they do it by percentage. This is the largest part of Russia, so we'll just call that Russia.
Or I mean, it could be just a grab. I mean,
did Russia lose a war to Poland? Famously, it seems like that would be the most likely case, right?
Yeah, they lost the European Union, right? So
I just mean, if any country was going to kick Russia's ass, Poland is the one that comes to my mind.
Yeah, Poland, Lithuania.
Well, famously, Poland does kick Russia's ass in the winter, which is the one time. Famously, you get taught not to fight Russia.
That would have been Finland, not Poland.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, that is Finland.
I mean, Poland did win its War of Independence in 1920, but that's a different story altogether.
Okay, well, I changed my mind then to Finland. But yeah, no, anyway, I don't remember why we're here.
Now we're talking about, my last, who paid whom and who would benefit from and all that. That's how you got it.
Oh, yeah, because I said who would fund destabilizing the Middle East, and then I made the joke, Russia, because how many wars has Russia been in the Middle East as well? And then, I don't know how we got to this from there, but that was the inciting incident. So in lighter notes, some crowd signs. We save conservatism. Save our lives. Not innovation. We don't need you. And union crossed out.
Half of those make sense. Well,
not innovation.
Yeah, not innovation. Doesn't make any sense, but sure. Yeah, the union crossed out. We don't want uniforces here. And, we make our own future. It makes sense. But, save our lives. I guess our way of life, because they're not saving our lives, and all the people getting gunned down. Literally, that's the opposite of what they're doing.
Well, it's more about who's it's directed at, right? They're in the crowd outside of the palace, which is where all the conservatives are, lined up outside. So it's a conservative crowd pointing a pretty small crowd pointing a sign that says "Save our lives" at the reformist princess. I don't.
Yeah.
What is the goal of the sign?
Also, it's a very small crowd too. It's like 50 or 100 people, 200 people at most, right?
Well, yeah, but it's the number of people willing to literally march into an area that has a bunch of guns all in.
Yeah, a giant robot. So yeah. Okay, now I am on episode 14, Dawn of Determination. I see that experimenting on children is a touchy subject, eh, HRL?
Hey, we're not here to gossip. We're here to discuss.
Exactly, that's what I said. Hey, word for word. Yeah, that's like, I'm here for that. Shut up.
Well, I mean, for one thing, it felt like you were slapping me in the face because it's a conversation that we've had many times before.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, how do I handle this? Like, what does that guy do? That's not what we're here to talk about. Shut up.
Yeah. Ixnay on the children trafficking, eh?
Well, no, I mean, to be fair to the situation, it's the super soldier program that's the bad thing. We're already creating enhanced people. Creating enhanced people, there's no problem with that. We're not torturing people to do that. Oh, I think there's no problem with that. You have already stated, for some reason, I just recently edited that video. there's no consent given. And I had to listen to the argument, you can't give consent before you're born. Nobody has consent to be born. So, over the last 200 years, a number of scientists and engineers have gone missing under mysterious circumstances, and the news wants to say that celestial being likely had something to do with that. The group that you only discovered existed 6 months ago? I mean, it seems pretty obvious that celestial being isn't responsible for that those people must be celestial being. Then, that's also indicated to be only what the civilian media knows, and that the government intelligences have already discovered more.
Yeah. And it feels more like they're reviewing the situation. Okay, what's got information out there? Do we put a kibosh in it? We let it go? What do we do, right? Kibosh? That's not a word.
I mean, you're saying the right thing. I think you're not saying it right, but now that you've said it twice now, I can't. All I can think is what you just said. It's like kibosh.
Kibosh, yeah. That's when you see a word that you read it, but you don't. Nobody has.
Well, it's the thing I've heard people say it a lot. So whatever I hear is like.
Okay. We finally have a spaceborne place of operations for celestial being among the resource satellites. I speculate that also means that humans have reached at least as far as the asteroid belt, unless they blasted parts of the moon to get those resources, which I doubt, but cannot rule out. Kibosh, yeah. I read it as kibosh, yeah.
I don't think it's my next note. Well, I'll just skip one. I guess the real reason Celestial Being's secret base hasn't been found yet is because the Unions put no real effort to find it. The HRO is the one that did the massive attempt to find their ship flying over their airspace. It seems the resource field falls in the Union-controlled section of space. So long as the Union continues to do nothing, Celestial Beings got free reign to come and go.
Also, I suppose if you have space colonies, do these nations also have space fleets? Because we've seen mobile suits move on their own, but one would argue that they would have, frigates and battleships or armed transports or something like that, right, to carry them longer distances.
I mean, we've only seen transports, like the transports that went to save the people from the thing falling. And
very much like in Wing, where most of the ships are just transports.
Well, right? I mean, also then the transports that transport the mobile suits when they did the attack on Ptolemos.
So the mobile suits are the main weapon, right? You don't have Well,
I'm just thinking, I don't think we've ever seen anything else other than that. But then again, we're mostly functioning around the ring, so most of the stuff would just be whatever you need to get from the pillars to ring segments. So you wouldn't need like a fleet to do any of that.
But if you have space stations in Lagrange points, or maybe even stations on the moon, you wouldn't have to go farther than that.
Well, I mean, not so much to get back and forth. You would just need transports. But I mean, for the construction, you might need something bigger. But we haven't seen that. Maybe those things are like discontinued. Like, I would say tunnel borer for the underground connection between Paris and England.
Yeah, the channel.
Yeah, but what the tunnel?
Well, the channel, yeah.
Well, the borers.
The child tunnel, yeah.
The borers, though, how they just, instead of taking them apart, they just turned them sideways and then just walled them in.
Yeah.
Those just might, they might have broken them down for parts and used them in the construction of the thing.
Guess it's your point, then?
No. You read the thing about the location, and then I read mine in response to yours.
Oh, okay. There are some things I want to think over, like what, hallelujah? Like the murder of probably dozens or more or so children? I wonder what Setsuna would think about that as a former child soldier. I mean. I think that if he were to learn that hallelujah killed a bunch of kids, it's like, you, what? No,
I don't think it's a good idea for these people to get involved in each other's backstories.
No, but I think it would happen eventually.
You killed your own parents because a guy told you to? Like, there's so much, like, I don't know if there's, like, any implication that Lacan's parents died in the explosion. Because, that area's like a whole memorial now, because there was buildings around it before, and now it's all garden and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, the idea that he lost his parents to a thing, like a terrorist thing, and you find out Setsuna, you were part of, like, a terrorist cell in Targus fighting the invasion forces, killed your own parents? Like, each one of them probably connects to the other. Yeah. I'm going to be mad at you about something.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. You already pointed a gun at me. If this proposal goes ahead, it will mark the world's first attempt. All the energy of calling it World War I in 1918.
I'm drawing a blank.
To what?
What you just said. The first
If this
attempt
proposal goes ahead, it will mark the world's first attempt. They're regarding their joint operation thing. And I'm not saying that it will mark the world's. I'm not saying they said it'll mark the world's first attempt. The first attempt, meaning we're either going to fail and not get all the Gundams, or we're going to do this again and get more Gundam somehow. It's all the energy of calling it World War I in 1918. This is the entire world coming together on a joint operation against celestial being. The first attempt. This should be your final attempt. You should plan for ultimate victory. And at the very worst, even if you're like thinking negative that this might fail, don't call it the first attempt.
Technically speaking, it is the first joint attempt, but it's not the first attempt to capture
it said world's first attempt.
World's first attempt, yeah.
It's not world's first, but it's world's first attempt. We get pedantic all day. The element is the first joint 3-nation super block thing. But I'm just saying, to call it the first attempt. Again, it's the first time the world comes together to try something. You're just like, this is the first time we're going to try this. What? We didn't agree to more times. What are you talking about?
You're preparing. You expect the best. You prepare for the worst.
Look, guys, you were all calling it the Great War. I was over here saying World War One. It's like the space. It's like space. Yeah, space war. Space War One. Yeah. It was never a Space War Two, but we were so pessimistic we named it early.
Yeah. One dude is rocking a banana hammock, and the peeping Tom is wearing a 1920s bathing suit.
But he's not peeping though. He says they're going to call you a peeping Tom. We know that he's interested in Christina, the girl he's standing next to. He just says, "What do you think they're talking about over there?"
Yeah,
he's fine. And she's like, "Who would be interested in a guy who's so self-absorbed guy over there?" I thought for a moment, like, wait a second, which one of these people isn't like infatuated with the other one? I was like, oh, that's right. I almost want to call him Lichtenlottie because his name is like Lichtendale or something like that.
Yeah,
the Lichtenlottie from Legend of Galactic Heroes. Yeah, that he is infatuated with Christina, or I guess it seems that way off of one interaction. She doesn't care about him because he's clearly not involved with a self-absorbed dude.
Yeah,
that's the only two that I'm aware of that is like anywhere near coupling.
Well, there's Lock-On and what's her name?
No,
the other girl.
No, they made it very clear that was like a nothing thing. Like I was just comforting her. And it felt as a very distant person of her own right. So I don't think that was like an emotional attachment. That was just like, I need an outlet right now.
I don't know. It could, this is Gundam. We've seen more things happen more quickly than anything else. It's like,
but this isn't Gundam Wing, where we see more things happening in an episode than should happen in a storyline.
Or Gundam, Z Gundam, which is even worse in many cases.
No, I disagree with that. If I'm ranking these, it would be Gundam Wing at the bottom, Gundam Seed, and then this. Not for like quality of story or anything. I just mean amount of stuff happening in an instant.
Yeah.
We had how many discussions? Are they still on the bottom of the ocean? Gundam Seed was not moving.
Not talking about romances in particular, how quickly or not they just seem to happen in some cases. Like, oh yeah, these two are together now. Okay.
I still have to disagree then because we had a whole arc of, is she your sister? Like, they actually tried to develop shit. Versus this was like, oh, he likes Christine. That's weird. Huh, I guess Billy has a thing for Sumeragi. Like, it's just kind of like, huh, all right. But not like in the instant, like, oh, okay, I guess these two were in a relationship this whole time.
Talking of Lock-On, actually, know that you're responding to my note. It's your note now, yeah. Right? Yeah.
Last thing I remember talking about was World War One.
So then it's me then. So Lock-On had a recording of some girls to fool people into thinking what exactly?
Yeah, I mean that he's a personable person who has an outward social life, I guess. I was more interested in, I didn't take a note about this either. Where did he get it? Did he like go to a club and like, here's $20, pretend you're interested in me, like,
yeah, or a radio drama or something. I don't know. Maybe it seemed to be turned the radio on, so it's like, oh, it turns the radio off. I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, I just assumed that it's just like a modern thing, right? He's got like a player built in.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I just don't know where you get that. Using my previous numbers, from the armed conflict location and event data listing, which was 204,605 conflict events in the last year, which was 560 conflicts a day, 23 conflicts an hour. Tierra says that it's been reduced by 38%, meaning it'd be down to 126,855 conflict events per year, or 348 events per day, or 15 events per hour. So a difference of 8 events per hour. Granted, I don't see it myself, considering how celestial beings' presence seems to spur on more conflicts than they fight, but they said it, and they live in the world, so I'll have to take it as true.
It's also the manufacturing thing that we talked about during the episode. Like, oh yeah, people are quitting selling weapons and all that, which just makes the companies that are selling weapons fill in the void and become even more powerful.
Yeah, thinking back to, say, Marvel, right? Stark company, whatever it's called. They stopped manufacturing weapons, and they seem to be the world's #1 manufacturer of weapons in the Marvel Universe. I don't remember war ending the next day. Seems to me that somebody else filled in. Was it Hammer Industries? There's just somebody else
others,
there.
Yeah. Many others. This is something I should have noticed before, and if people in the comments go like, "Yeah, that was pretty obvious from episode 1," but I really noticed it not right now. In the U.S., you have the White House and the Glass House. Because every time they go to show the president of the United States, at the bottom, it's the White House. And then over that is this huge glass covered building that's where the president actually is at. Like you have the White House, which apparently now is a museum or something, and the Glass House.
Well, after they got that ballroom wing done.
Yeah.
So the first time I watched this, I hadn't seen Gundam Seed yet. Now I get the Joshua from Alaska reference. You should know that since it was a big event in the movie that you watched.
Oh yeah, it was a Josh A in the movie, and
I didn't finish reading the notes to give you time because it's literally just as in Seed. Josh A was the Alaskan base's name.
Yeah,
Joshua from Alaska.
Alaska, yeah. Little self-referential. Not the first time it happens, or the last. Sergey, just relax. Patrice, yes, sir.
Yeah, I made that joke in the reaction.
Yeah.
So, Wang's arms. Way back when Second Life was brand new and Avatar creation was a wild west of people trying to make the most human thing possible, my girlfriend of the time told me something that has always stuck with me, regardless of never having any use of it in my life. Your arms have to be long enough to wipe your ass. In that one shot, Wang's arms are so long that she can stand up straight and touch the back of her knees. It's unnatural. Just a bad shot that was left in for some reason.
Lap the monkey right there.
She got creepy ass long arms. Like I said, she's like unfold. It's a wrong scene on so many levels.
Yeah.
I didn't comment on it, but fuck it, why not do it now? There's also the element that we've established she's a minor. She's got her arms around her boobs, pushing them in like this.
Yeah.
So it's just for the scene. So her arms are technically behind her boobs, like this, pushing them forwards. And then her arms are crossed, and her fingertips are like touching her kneecaps. And she's standing up straight, too. So it's like, you're a monster.
Well, I mean, if Hong Long has supernatural speed, who knows what she has?
I guess I did mention this before, but I also marked them as being members of Celestial Being. Because they said something during one of the episodes where they identified, or I think Hong Long identifies himself as a member of Celestial Being. So if he is, then clearly she is.
Colonel Mannequin? Okay, I guess she believes in correcting her subordinates. It wouldn't be a Gundam show without it.
No comment.
Yeah.
Do you think Graham's killing of his commanding officer and Sumeragi's past failure are tied together? It would reduce the amount of events the audience would be expected to keep track of, which is always just good writing. Still, it's odd that it's odd that... Didn't write this right. Still, it's odd that Graham refers to clearing his name in the present tense, not that he cleared his name already.
I guess I'll jump down to my notes, a couple of notes to get to that point. What exactly did Graham do that requires him to, quote, clear his name on the battlefield, unquote? Something apparently he wasn't court-martialed for.
Well, apparently he shot his commanding officer in the back. I'm
Yeah.
assuming they mean in like aerial combat or something, not like he
Yeah.
legitimately. But we'll see element again that Sumeragi has something hanging over her head, which is causing her great shame over a long period of time. So something she hasn't cleared her name of. Graham has this thing that apparently he hasn't cleared his name of yet either. So maybe it's an event that neither of them have cleared their name for. Graham is in the Union, and he's with Billy, who's also in the Union. The implication is that Billy and Sumeragi were in the same academy or whatever together, which would mean that when Sumeragi served, she would have served in the Union. Thus, are these two events connected?
Could be. Also, Graham seems to be pretty relaxed about the whole thing. Oh yeah, that happened. Don't worry, I'll clear my name in the
Well,
battlefield.
because he might have been suffering from it for a long time. He's normalized a bad event.
Tetsuna to Luis, but is she dead? Yeah, I made my mommy. He's like, yeah, but is she dead? No, okay, I don't see the problem.
Well, I mean, he says it's not like she's dead.
I know, but it's that. What was the movie where the guy keeps saying, "Us like, well, are you dead? Did you die?"
There
No.
reminds me of different places. I go to South Park. Made you eat your parents.
Yeah, that's yeah. No.
I mean, it's more
That's
so the element because Setsuna killed his parents. So,
did he?
what? Did you forget that
Setsuna?
already?
You said Setsuna.
Yeah.
Setsuna didn't kill his parents.
Say what you just said one more time for me, because I think I'm mishearing you.
Setsuna. Oh, Setsuna killed his parents. No, I thought you were talking about Saji. Like, why would Saji?
Okay, dude, that's the thing. Is I was like, you're saying Setsuna didn't kill his parents. Like, maybe he said adding a different word in there, but I'm mishearing him. Like, it's like on the board. I even have an image of his parents right before he killed them, so I put it right next to him.
Yeah. He does kill his parents.
Yeah, I thought like maybe you were saying maybe you were conflating that like Setsuna killed their parents. Like maybe it's doing a there, and that's the confusion. Like, am I mishearing a word?
You were talking about what Carmen did to this other kid's parents in.
Well, no. I said you went with one movie reference, and I was thinking my mind goes to Cartman made you eat your parents.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's like the worst thing that could happen, right? And it's like, well, your parents aren't dead because from his perspective, his parents are fucking dead. He can't see his mother ever again, but he's the cause of that. So it's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Well, Cartman made you eat your parents is pretty up there on bad things that can happen to your parents. Well, my final note. I wonder if the fifth solar power war was in 2301, that the war in Kyrgyz was just a part of the greater conflict that was the fifth solar power war.
Probably across the entire Middle East, as they seem to hint.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying we didn't know that the fifth solar power war existed until last episode.
Yes, that's true.
So, and literally at the end of last episode, is Ali Al-Sashaz is saying it. So the element is, I don't know where in the timeline that would fall, because we know where the fourth one happens, and we know what the present day is. So the only conflict I have listed in between the two is 2301, which is the events of Kyrgyz, which is Setsuna's backstory.
Yep.
Which I don't know, could be more motivation for Setsuna wanting to prevent anything else like this happening. We can't have a sixth solar power war.
I mean, teaming up to fight the Gundams makes sense. It's how I said we, I don't know, they are going to capture Gundam without the others interfering with it. That is the tricky part.
Yeah, you would have to say there, because your image is a male Sumeragi, so your we is celestial being.
Yeah, I know, but this week it doesn't apply because I'm talking about the three superpowers.
Well, yeah, which would be most of the Earth. So we being the human race.
Yeah, but that's pretty clunky, so no, it doesn't apply.
I think it's not that clunky. It's 2 letters. Versus how many more words do you have to add to make it more apt, I guess? I think just going with a 2-letter description to apply to everything is easier than being more specific.
Well, clarity is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty clear as is.
Yeah.
You make it more difficult to understand the more words you add.
I just change a word.
It's the engineering problem of not grammar, of subject. The more complicated you make a machine, the more easy it is to fall apart.
To break down, fall apart because he has more points of tension.
Right.
Yeah.
So the more nuance, the more adjectives, verbs, etc., that you add to your noun, the easier it is to misunderstand.
But in this case, I just changed "we" to "they," and that's it.
Yeah, but then and now you're changing the subject's point of view. Who is we versus who are they? Like, you're saying they, as well, who do I represent now? If it's we, then it's just everyone. Versus they implies that I'm somewhere other. If they are attacking the celestial being, am I part of celestial being? If it's they?
No, I could be a third party to all this. I don't have to be part of any other one.
Yeah, but then you're making me part of what, Africa? Like, or Australia?
No, you're just there, and you're just a civilian who is. Okay, it's never mind. Let's drop it. Let's keep going. Yeah,
I can't.
for me, you can't.
I can't.
It's-
I can't. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh God, no! We're in the definition of what is. Jesus fucking
Well, I
Christ!
didn't sleep with her. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The PDF files are other ones. Anyway, yeah, but you have your final point, right?
No.
We finished?
That's why I can't.
Oh,
I can't move on. I don't have anywhere to move on to. I already told you that was my final note.
I thought it was your second to last. Okay. Okay, we'll talk about Graham. Okay, my second to last. It's Setsuna falling for the princess enough to pull a Batman on her. I mean, the intro kind of shows that, yeah, there seems to be linked somehow, but you know.
I mean, what's the age gap?
I don't know. I think
He was a child that killed his parents 6 years ago.
So he's 16. I think he's 15 or 16.
I don't know whether you're basing that on. We have covered literally nothing about his backstory to get a date for him. Again, we know he was a child 6 years ago.
And is a child.
Is it? I feel like we've covered this before. I know for some reason we've covered this before on some video.
You're not a teenager until you hit 13. So yes.
No. I mean, those little definitions for age ranges for children and whatnot.
Yes, we covered that. You Googled it. Googling it again. Preteen? He's a preteen at 10?
Well, you're not going to like this one then. A child is generally defined as a person from birth to 18 years old.
Well,
so it's so wide that legitimately that could have been an 18-year-old Setsuna child.
Yeah.
Infancy is birth to 1, toddler is 1 to 3, preschool is 3 to 5, school age is 6 to 12, and teenagers 12 to 18. Even though 19 is a year in there with teen in it.
Yeah. It's not 13 to 19, literally, but yeah, sure.
Well, it says 12 to 18. So I guess we're talking school age?
Yeah.
6 to 12? Like, legitimately, I have no eye for anime kid ages. He could have been 6 for all I know. And then you're indicating that he was 10 for some reason. Like, you have an eye for how old anime children. Maybe this is a game show. This is a game show we should make one of these days. Like, I'll get like a bunch of characters that I know I can look up the ages for. I'll show you a picture and you guess how old they are. And we'll do like the different golf rules, right? Lowest score wins. So you'll just earn points based on the difference between their actual age and how old you think they are. Well, yeah. we can test this, man. We can see how good you are at judging the ages of kids in anime. I'm just saying, if you told me he was 6 in that flashback, I would believe you. 10 probably seems reasonable too, which is like, who the fuck knows? It's the difference between him being 12 right now, the difference between him being 16 right now. Both of which, too young for her.
How old is she, though?
Probably in her 20s, I would guess. I don't know, you're the expert, Lessons. Don't look it up, just tell me off the top of your head.
I'm not looking it up, I'm looking at my notes, and I don't have it on my notes. I think she get anywhere between 16 to 18. I don't think she's older than 18.
Let's see, does something tell us? That was wrong.
Spoilers. No, you can be spoiled. I don't have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's all right for me to look at the same way I told you that I checked out the tactical video things that I was asking people to watch. It's like, fuck it. Worst I'm thinking is I'm just going to remember something. And they turn out to be nothing. She is 24 years old in season 1.
Okay. And I hope not. I hope they are, in fact, not developing something romantic there.
Well, that's what I said. Like, I said she looked like 20 to me, so I guess I'm more on the ball with guessing 20-year-olds in anime. Okay, you know what? I'm doing it. Let's see. How old is Setsuna? Setsuna age, Gundam below. He is 16. You were on the ball with that one. So I guess you're good at guessing the ages of children. I'm good at guessing the ages of 20-year-old.
Don't smile. Don't go there. Do not
Why?
go there.
Which one of the
No.
many things do you think I would be leaping to right now?
Yeah, all of them are not good. So, my final note. So, why was Al Sachez pretending to be an officer of the AEU? Is he serving the AEU or another faction? And why the Agrisa?
Well, he's not pretending, for one thing. Also, you're saying officer of the AEU. He is a member of the Foreign Legion, which is kind of a different thing. The member of the Foreign Legion is you give up your... For one thing, we know he has a fake identity. Let's just not... Because I'm about to explain something you already know anyway. Foreign Legion, you give up your past identity and you serve for a period of time, and then they give you, so assuming you survive and you pass all the actual education shit you have to go through, they give you a brand new identity, and you can literally lose your past identity. So odds are he has just not given up his old identity and has joined the Foreign Legion. So his new name is probably a legitimate legal name that he can use. But he's a member of the Foreign Legion. What I have to assume, much like real Foreign Legion, not going to be actually a member of the rest of the group. Which is why they can hire him to do this like subterfuge shit that we both think he's about to cause the problem that's going to be bring Celestial Being in. Because who else would you do? I mean, I guess they could have hired, legitimately, they could have hired him as a member of PMC Trust to do it.
Yeah.
But they've gone French Foreign Legion. I guess just to introduce the concept to people who aren't familiar.
Yeah. It's 24th century. We still have the French Foreign Legion.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you commit a horrible crime somewhere, we've got a way to put you to work.
Or you were a member of the former German army during World War II, you can join the Foreign Legion.
I'm just saying, it's an outlet. It's an outlet to get people to do stuff that they're probably really already good at doing.
Yeah. So, those are my notes.
Well, I came with one comment, and I only brought it because of an argument that we had.
Okay.
Hunter Mad from the episode The Changing World. Gundam didn't use any exotic material in their production, just mostly still quite new and advanced E-carbon that all three powers had access to. Their secret sauce is in the reactor.
Oh, he's agreeing with you.
Okay. Yes.
No Gundamian or lunar.
That's the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, they call it specifically Gundanium in Wing.
Yes, but it's the same thing. Gundanium and lunar
titanium.
Yeah, it's the same thing. If you look up Gundanium, it'll say it's lunar whatever. It's the same metal. It just has a different name, which was disappointing once you start getting into arguments, because it's like the Gundanium armor just fucking takes all the hits. It doesn't get hit by anything. It's like, yeah, it's the same metal in every other show though. So it's like, I guess the weapons are weaker in Gundam Wing. I don't know, you get into the same stuff with, like, you watch Iron Blooded Orphans, and they got armor that's, like, impervious to beam weapons. And then people would be like, no, that's just ablative armor. If they got hit more, they would get hurt more. Yeah, but I just watched a bunch of episodes where they didn't get hurt at all. So, it's that argument against lived-in experience.
Yeah. Well, then, we're done with that. So, are we ready?
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
So we're doing the thing we did in space on the ground. And now in the air too.
Masaka ユニオンや AU と手を組むことになろうとは。
Yeah, knowing that there was a fifth solar power war means that war is actually in recent memory for some of these people. Love me some Patrick.
Okay, shut up. Yeah.
了解した部隊総数52参加モビルスーツ832
That's a lot of mobile suits.
And yet not the most, because the Moralia thing had more than that.
手には従わせてもらうぞガンダム
Which again means that we wasted more mobile suits in Moralia than all of the world bringing it together in one joint operation. Which again was just the AEU though, although we'd already covered before that the AEU already had a surplus of mobile suits that they were selling. So I guess they just burned off their surplus and now has the same amount of mobile suits as everyone else.
Yeah.
But hey, it's going to be the first time in a long time that we've seen the AEU fight. I mean, specifically, because the AEU just, like, added to Moralia's forces.
Yeah.
It's been forever. It's not since episode 1, I think, we've actually seen Moralia forces fight. I'm sorry, AEU forces fight.
Yeah.
I'm just getting it conflated in my head. Also, I think the first opening was better. Musically, I don't have any real thoughts about the opening cinematic.
It's fine. It's a bit jumpy though. I don't, they're going from one thing to the other pretty quickly.
Well, they have to. They have a limited amount of time to express an entire what?
That's a new one, right?
17 episodes? Doesn't sound right.
Yeah, the red one that they showed there.
14?
10,
11. 11 was the right number. I don't know why. My head was jumping all over the place with math. I didn't need to do math. It's 14 plus 11.
Wings. Looking at rings? Well, she's looking at rings.
It was pretty fast for 6 months.
ママが帰って落ち込んでます。
よくわかってるよ
励ましてください。
元気出してよルイス
物理的にお願いします。
Please.
Oh.
That's what, $1,000? I don't know what EV is, so I can only do like a euro, not a euro, yen conversion.
It could be 10%.
You're the rich one. Give me the money and I'll buy it for you.
のんきなもんですよね今頃1000機近いモビルスーツが大演習をやっているというのに
あっちが異常なのよ
Yes, the cars are also electric. Makes sense.
イオリア・シュヘンベルグ
例の件はどうなっている？諜報部から報告がありました。情報通り、濃縮ウラン埋設地域にモビルスーツ3機、人員輸送車3台が向かっております。あとは彼らが網にかかってくれれば。
Nothing I would think that Ali would be in.
演習地域に配置した双方向通信システムに障害反応が出ました。予定通りだ。作戦の変更を司令官に伝えてくれ。我々とて世論の非難を浴びて。
Unless he's in a mobile suit on the back of one of those trucks.
Yeah, probably.
So I would assume he's in the enact. Unless he's trying to hide himself.
Agrisa, no. He's supposed to be in the Agrisa now.
Yeah, but they didn't say what the Agrisa was.
無理言い過ぎ
観測班ガンダムの標的はどこか
通信遮断ポイントのルート上に駐屯する部隊はありません
何ガンダムが濃縮ウラン埋設地域に向かっているだと
It's interesting where each one of these bases are. I mean, the Union is out at the sea on their carrier fleet, apparently. The AU's got a base in the desert.
Yeah.
See, that's my argument for what you were talking about with the their Gundams can't fire missiles had literally the same trajectory as the missiles that we saw come in on.
It's a false flag, dude. They knew
You're
what was
saying
happening
that
because
with
it was a
God's
false
perspective,
flag.
though. He doesn't know that.
Yeah.
There's one thing we can say about Sergei. His opinion about, like, Super Soldier Program and everything. He's got an innocence that seems to be unbecoming of him. Hard to feel tense when I know that you've got impenetrable shields.
Only one of them has these shields.
No, we've seen all of them use GN particles. Now that's a tactic. It's that quote from 300. 1,000 nations of the Persian Empire. How do you like your coffee? Hot.
Not too hot.
McDonald's hot.
Yeah, that will. Yeah.
おそらくはプラン B2 へ移行しているはず。
I hope not. That'll sink my battleship. But I will get bingo.
ユニオン3初期攻撃に成功。ガンダム2機 TF4122 ポイントです。
遠距離砲撃続行。
了解。遠距離砲撃続行。ヒューマン1から有識会暗号 TF2123 へ部隊の
From
派遣を
Human
要請して
1.
きました。
やはり
Ah,
This will
human
be my
intelligence.
designation in the war.
第23モビルスーツ隊を出撃させろ。
We got a call in from Human 1.
出撃せよ。第23モビルスーツ隊出撃せよ。カイザー、なぜ私に出撃命令を出さないんですか。俺はガンダムを。
今は待機だ。
しかし
信用しろ。私がお前を男にしてやる。
Hey, Mulan.
Okay.
ミッションプランを B2 に移行する。了解。エクシア外壁部迷彩被膜解凍。ミッションを開始する。ガンダム2機発見。本部に連絡。
Conceivably, you should have been able to sense they were there, though. GN particles and everything.
Yeah.
I think I bring this up in every Gundam series. What about heat? These things not put off heat?
I don't know. Maybe they can shift it.
GN バズーカバーストモード。
It's more like a railgun to me.
97%。GN 粒子解放。
Less like a railgun now, though.
Yeah.
It's funny to me because I swear there was a bunch of comments in today's episode that got released on YouTube that they don't have energy weapons. It's like, what the fuck is that?
ファーストシュート完了。GN 粒子チャージ開始。 の物量は対応が早い。
Okay, they drank through all the coffee.
Well, I mean, that's one way to express that time is passing. Also, just saying how much time is passing is another way. If you didn't want to use the
Just so you
visual.
didn't know, bro.
せめて GN アームズが使えれば。
時間からしてプラン B2 から E5 に移行しているはず。だとすればあの機体が来る。
I expect one of them back in the action is going to now shout, "Let's switch to plan whatever she just said."
どうしたアレリア。
頭が長兵が
長兵だって。
王国にあった人格の専用機か。
I don't even know what enemy approaching means at this point, because you're like fucking surrounded.
Yeah.
Action-packed episode.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we were closer to the end of the episode than the beginning. This is the halfway point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good plan. Just take the one that you know gets disabled by your presence and run away with it.
That's a lot of firepower they're dishing out.
But just think about how much each one of those missiles costs. It's going to be the most expensive battle in human history. Again, in my mind, there's no reason why all those shots that she just put into this thing shouldn't have ripped a hole in it.
Yeah.
Call that plot armor. Better than E-Carbon.
But that's what I've been saying, that these guys can take far more shots than they should be able to.
Because they're the main characters.
Yeah.
戦闘開始から5時間が経過したか。どちらへ？他の監視者たちの意見を聞きに行く。私の仕事もここ
Other observers?
そんな気なんかないくせに。
Oh, okay.
大人は嫌いだね。
Same. Yeah, no indication of what he's actually doing if he's lying to us.
第16モビルスーツ隊に引き継がせろ。出番は近いぞ、少尉。出撃準備急げよ。はっ
So what are you thinking? Sacrifice move? Throwing Patrick out there to die?
Probably. Also, why use dumb bombs when you can probably have guided bombs? Huh?
I mean, we've been at this for how many hours? Maybe we don't have the supplies on hand. I mean, this was discussed in the Billy Sumeraki conversation. Exhaust them. But Sumeraki said, what if they do autopilot or self-destruct?
Yeah.
The 15-member Overflag Squadron.
俺らの目標はデカブツのガンダムだ。砲撃中止と同時に露獲を開始する。
I mean, it's a pretty good plan.
Go to
Wear them down for hours on end as you keep switching your own teams out. See? I mean, never in doubt what he meant by the big one. Except for the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
ジュサ羽根付きを露獲します。
注意しろ少尉。以前のようにいきなり動き出すやもしれん。
了解。
Are they playing possum though, or are they gonna get captured for real?
I mean, it's 2 out of 4 at the moment.
作戦行動に入る。オーバーフラッグス、フォーメーション E でミッション開始する。隊長、ジョシュアが。ジョシュア、フォーメーション崩すな。
Go figure. The guy who was mocking me earlier is going to turn out to be a dick.
空中変形。いつまでも自分だけのものと思って。何？
Well, much like
Sucks
Josh
to be you.
in Alaska, he done blown up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the 14-member squad
Yeah.
of Overflag.
抱きしめたいな、ガンダム。
Hard to fight momentum.
Yeah.
まさに眠り姫だ。
フェルト、マイスターからの連絡はありません。
どうなってんだよ。
消えていく。ガンダムマイスターの命が。
Yankees at least Setsuna is the last one.
There's only one person that's gonna.
3時の方向に敵へ。モビルアーマー。
Oh, that's a mobile armor.
Oh, yeah.
この前の借りを返してもらうぜ。ガンダムさんや。
I forgot that's what this thing was. Classic move we've seen from Mobile Suit Gundam before.
アグリストのプラズマフィールドの味は機体だけ残して消えちまいな。クルジスのガキが。
外交部に来た非公式の情報だけど、ユーラシア大陸で行われている合同演習。
I appreciate that they're keeping track of the time differences between locations.
ソレスタルビーイング。
If it's daytime over in China, it's probably nighttime.
でも、1000機近いモビルスーツ部隊にたった4機のガンダムで挑むだなんて無茶が過ぎるわ。姫様、切な。
Creep.
なぜこの世界は歪んでいる。神のせいか人のせいか。
まさかあの時。
Again, why is the world so twisted? Said the guy who snuck into my bedroom at night.
Yeah.
Good reminder for you, Lessons.
Yeah.
失い続けたまま朽ち果てるのか。
It was a Star Wars noise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a new one.
The cross-legged flying pose. That close to victory. I mean, look at it. Seems he's very close to dying there, which means Ali almost won.
Yeah, well, I mean, they took a lot to put him in that position, so.
I don't know. He was just floating along.
No, but it was 15 hours of combat. He was tired, and
I don't know. We didn't really get to see him doing much. Everyone else, I mean, he was actually under the shield with Tiara.
Yeah,
I often forget who's in which one, even though I have it listed in my notes section. Maybe I should add that to the board. A little like micro Gundam next to each one. Not beyond my ability to do. So yeah, no, I mean, Ali almost beat him in the same way that McQueeve and Kycelia almost beat Amuro.
Well, I mean,
legitimately the same thing, a mobile armor using a high temperature plasma field.
Yeah, but that was after he been in the bombardment for 15 hours straight?
So?
Yeah, he was pretty tired.
Like,
yeah,
what a fucking brilliant plan he had. Like, yeah, it was good.
新たに登場した3機のガンダム。彼らが放つ GN 粒子の光が
Oh, 3 new Gundams. Okay.
次回トリニティ鳴り響くベルの音は第2幕の始まり。
Yeah, unfortunately, the moment I saw we were recording 2 episodes today and I sent you both episodes, and I saw one of them was called Trinity, I was like, I know what's coming.
Yeah.
I know the moment I saw Trinity what that meant. I know, that's the next episode, but the idea being is that they got to be introduced at some point, right?
Yeah.
I will say you're about to meet one I think it was Griffin's favorite character.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if it's good or bad thing, but you're when pushed, this is who Griffin said his favorite character was.
I thought he said that it was what's the girl? The girl from the HRL, Patrice.
Soma? I don't think
Soma,
so.
Yeah.
I know the conversations I can remember with Griffin. Well, maybe. Sorry, I think that he said this was his favorite because this is the one he kept going with. It may have started as his favorite of the 3, but I think this is what he continued with. It's the one that sticks in my mind anyway.
So more and more Gundams, of course.
Oh, what, you think you have a 4-person team forever?
Seemed to be pretty effective up to this point.
How many were in Wing?
7? No, 5. We're only 5.
You mean 7?
5. In Gundams? No, 5.
Name them.
Hero.
Well, the Gundams, I was going to say, but whatever you need.
Troa. Wu Fei. And the last one is Blonde Kid. God damn it.
And Steve.
And Steve, yeah. Rich Kid. Fuck, I forgot.
You said Hero, Troa, Wu Fei.
Duo. And the last one, 5, was, what's his name? You
said Blonde Kid. That's Troa.
Rubaba Winner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, what are you listing?
5 Gundams.
Hero is not a Gundam. Troa is not a Gundam.
But each one of them had a Gundam.
So Gundam pilots.
Yeah.
Zex Marquis, Trace Grenada.
Oh yeah, because they piloted the Epion.
Yeah, so the original question was how many Gundams, and then you start naming Gundam
7.
pilots.
Yeah, there were 7 because we have 2 versions of.
Let me ask you this question.
0, 1,
let me
0,
ask you this
0.
question. Lessons
And 0.
What is oftentimes 4 plus 3?
7.
We have the 4 from our original, and now we're getting a Trinity. Sometimes means 3.
Yes, often. Yes.
Yes,
As
and
in
if
all the
Gundam
time.
Wing is the original show that this one is based off of, and that one had, well, I guess, 7, I think was the number we just came to, and this one has 4, and now we're getting introduced to 3 more.
Oh, we have 7. Yeah. I mean, you had Epion, and you had 2 versions of the Wing 0 and 0,
but we're not going to count variants. We're going to count how many are on the field at the same time.
Well, then,
so you have Epion and you have a Tall Geese.
Yeah. Well, Tall Geese wasn't really a Gundam.
The original Tall Geese was a prototype, but I would argue that version 2 to 3 are Gundams.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to argue that the version that Trace is piloting at the end is not a Gundam. And that is a Tall Geese version.
Yeah. Tall Geese 2. Yeah. And the Epion, which was a Gundam on steroids. Just saying something. But you know, 0 was Gundam on steroids. With a double buster cannon, yeah.
So, yeah, as I was saying, my guy almost won. And again, your only detractor is he had a good tactic. I mean, you might as well just be arguing, because he's better. You know? You know, I mean, your argument of, because he's like fought him down for 16 hours, and it's like, yeah, that's good planning. You might as well be arguing, your guy only beat my guy because he's better at the game. It's like, yeah, well, what?
Almost. Not quite. Came close.
Well, I mean, you just got to put down in columns, right? Like, what are your benefit? Oh, I come with, 10 generations better technology than you got? Well, I come with more supplies and a lot of backup.
Yeah, we're 1,000 suits.
Well, I mean, not dedicated to each one, obviously. Like, we're looking at, like a 250 spread apiece? Which, not for nothing, we already proved in Moralia, they can take 250 people apiece.
Yeah.
We've done that math already. So the fact that they're having a harder time here just implies better planning than Moralia.
Definitely.
Well, because, I mean, they ran Ripshot over like 250 people apiece within like a couple of hours in Moralia. Where this is like a 16-hour protracted fight where they're like cycling in group after group. So nobody actually gets run down as much.
Yeah.
Lessons learned.
I believe so, yeah. And we'll see if it sticks on next episode.
What, nothing else to say about this one?
Not really. I mean, it's a lot of fighting, and the tactics were solid. It's what I've been saying for a while, that if they unify the world against them, they're going to be in trouble. Numbers do matter as well as tactics.
Well, I mean, now they got more numbers, though.
Yeah.
Again, if any one Gundam is worth 200-something regular mobile suits, and the entire world comes together and can put together 1,000, or it's not even 1,000, it was like 800-something. Mm-hmm. Sorry, when she's talking in the car, and it goes, well, they got close to 1,000. Like, I wouldn't have been rounding up to the clearest. I wouldn't have been rounding up to the closest 1,000. I'd be rounding up to the closest 100. They've got almost 900. Or the other common vernacular, they've got a little over 800.
Yeah.
Yeah, rounding up to 1,000. We brought 600 mobile suits. They brought almost 1,000 mobile suits. Like, no.
Yeah. I mean, those are significant numbers. Which kind of also that was the thing I was complaining about Zeta, that the numbers were very low. But here you have nations that can create and produce thousands of suits, right?
Well, it's because Zeta comes off of the back of the 1-year war.
Yeah, but you would expect that after the 1-year war, you would have a lot of surplus.
Well, no, I mean, we're burnt out. That's the idea. We're burnt out on the war. And now that we're actually done, because there's no one left to fight at the moment, you know, God knows what anyone thinks Axis is up to out there. We're trying not to. And again, mostly it's the element of, we had all that fighting in the 1-year war. If you want that many mobile suits, it's in the universe. Just go back to Apo or Quo. Or Solomon if you want. Just, you got plenty of giant mobile suit fights. Now this is the after war period.
The War X, perhaps? Actually, no, that much later.
What?
After War X is
not in Universal Century.
No,
that's an AU. That's why I asked you what was such an incredulous tone, because that's the pirate one. I think it's the one that has like the skull and crossbones Gundam.
Anyway, yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this episode, I guess, because there's also part 1. Essentially, clearly, it's going to be a part 2 with Trinity. You know, to see the opening sequence of the battle, and then we get to see the finish of it. So I think, if I want to say anything about what's happening now, I have to say it in concert.
What about Alejandro?
I mean, he says he's gonna go to the other observers. I'm more interested in who are these other observers? Are they UN observers, or are they observers who know about what's going on here and they're in it with Alejandro?
Well, Ribbon says he's not.
Yeah, but we don't know where they're going, so I don't know where he's gonna.
Well, it's not even there. It's just Alejandro. Because Ribbon just stayed put.
Yeah, so
it's hate adults.
Don't have enough information to make a guess of what's going on there, other than he's leaving the room to go somewhere.
All right. Well, I guess with all that said, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?